Welcome back. This is Imperial Buckethead. It's been a while since I've done a Lord of the Rings TCG video, so I was moving through the starter deck series, and we're at the Fellowship block, Mines of Moria, which is the second set from the Fellowship block, which is the first block from the game that came out back in 2001. Uh, Mines of Moria, just like all the other sets that came out, they usually had two decks. There were some that had more than that, but right here you only have two in these first initial few blocks of the game that dealt with the movies. So these do come with 3 random rares plus a starter deck with the 2 unique characters. You got a unique Gimli and Gandalf that are in each deck that only come with these decks, except at a chance at a foil out of a booster pack. I've also got 2 booster packs from this set that we're going to crack open just to see what we get. So I guess we'll start with Gandalf. We'll put Gimli to the side. Hope everyone's doing okay. Apologize for not having more Lord of the Rings content, but we're going to try to get back into it. I've got a lot of stuff I could open. Some of it I'm going to leave sealed, but I actually intend to play the game, so it's one of those things, you know. All right, here we go. These weren't too hard to track down. They weren't super expensive. I think I paid about maybe $9 or $10 for each of them. All right, so we'll put the starter book. So this is the starter rule book. Comes with all the different sets that have the starter decks. It's just a generic rule book. There's not really that much more to the game outside of this booklet. It's just the other rulings later on changed, but it mostly has to do with deck building. All right, so here we go. We'll start with the face card. So this is Gandalf. As you can see, like I point out in every video, he has the P symbol down at the bottom right, so that's just signifying, hey, this is a promo from the starter deck. All right, Frodo, the One Ring. So this deck does have the Moria Goblin culture and the Wizard culture for Gandalf. Try to give everyone enough time to look at the artwork and read the card. This game is fairly simple to play. As I've mentioned in previous videos, you know, you're basically playing two different decks within one deck. There's our other Gandalf. You're playing as the Free Peoples of Middle Earth, which is, you know, the good guys. And also you play as the Shadow. So you have certain phases that you follow. And whose ever fellowship phase that it is, the other person plays the Shadow and vice versa. So it's really interesting dynamic. The only thing that can get kind of, you know, testy is, you know, it's your fellowship turn, but you've got a handful of, there's Legolas, you got a handful of Moria goblins and you can't do anything in your turn, you know. You may end up just moving and then getting wrecked. So definitely a balance of, you know, you want to be able to manipulate your deck and increase your consistency with card draw and things like that. Tutor effects, like that's a magic term, but tutor effects that let you go fetch different cards from your deck, that sort of thing. So this has like wizard culture, always going to have some hobbit culture because of Frodo, but wizard, elves, then you've got Boromir in here, so there's a lot going on. You'll find as you play the game more and the more focused you become in your deck building, if you try not to branch out to too many different cultures, the more consistent your deck will be and the synergies will be better in that route as well. Excellent movie stills, high quality, super clean graphic arts. A lot of thought, care, detail went into these card borders and the flavor and how it should look. You know, it just overall optimized the whole feel for the game. And being that the game has a very unique, you know, mechanic with the traveling through the sites, it really makes for a fun time when you're playing it. All right, so here's our sites for this deck. The sites are always common or uncommon. Side 7. Okay. You can look at that. Some of them are hidden. So these are our rares. Here we go. All right. No Mirror Ranger. Skirmish phase. Exert Aragorn to make another companion strength +2 or +3 if that companion has the Aragorn signet. Watcher in the Water. So you guys remember this one. And what's cool about this card is he actually has the tendrils as separate other creatures that can be used in conjunction with the water, Watcher in the Water. So it's a really cool thematic mechanic. All right, Beneath the Mountains. Tail. Place your support area. Fellowship. Discard the top 3 cards from your draw deck to play a dwarf culture weapon from your discard pile. So this is what I was talking about, consistency. It's helping cycle your deck. Okay, you may hit like Gimli's Axe, something of that nature. So that's pretty cool. All right, so those were our 3 rares. So now let me put the deck to the side. And what we'll do is we'll crack open a booster pack. Always like cracking packs. You can ask my friends that I play Magic with. Little warpage there, nothing too crazy. I wouldn't consider that damage. You sleeve it up and put it in a binder for a little bit, it'll flatten back out. The foils weren't too terrible about curling, but not as bad as Magic anyways. But you know, it's easily rectified by sleeving it up, putting it into a binder. All right, here's our uncommons. Blood of Numenor. Throw yourself in next time. Moria Archer Troop. All right. A rare, Jarnsmith. To play Spot Gandalf, each time you play a shield, armor, helm, or hand weapon, its twilight cost is -1. So it gives your opponent 1 less resource to use later on. Do we have a foil? No, we don't. Okay. That was our rare. We'll put it off to the side. These are our commons. All right, other side. There's the common Belrog. Costs 12 to deploy, but damage +1 fierce, and it has a 17 attack on it, which is insane. Dark Places. Demands of the Cycle Wagons. Alright. Alright, on to the next starter deck, which is the Gimli deck. Go ahead and crack into it. Now the pull tab came off on me. That one still. These hold wrappers, man, they just fall apart after being around for so long. You know, this set was still 2001. All right, it's talking about the 3rd set coming out later. Let's see. New Line Cinema, 2002. So 19 years ago? Yeah, almost 20 years ago. It's incredible. It doesn't feel like it's been that long. All right. Put this off to the side. There's a starter deck. We've already discussed it. We'll put it off to the side as well. All right, here we go. We'll start with the face card, Gimli. This had the Sauron Orc culture, which is represented by the Great Eye. I always liked them, but they weren't the strongest. I think the Uruk-hai are probably just hands down the strongest. Seconded only by the Moria goblins and orcs. Moria has, you can swarm with that. The creatures are really cheap. And you've got Goblin Armory, which is a really solid card. But yeah, Moria Swarm was a thing back in the day. Orc Hunters. But yeah, I liked those, the Sauron culture. Drawers were also fun as far as the Free People's players go. Assassin. Generic companion. Non-unique. There's a Dwarven Axe. I do like that you could get the random rares in these decks. It was kind of cool because you might get something that would work well with the deck, and you could swap some cards out. Or really, you have to add some, but these starter decks were not legal out of the box unless you added a few cards. But definitely solid enough that you could play them without adding too much. There's our other Gimli. I mean, just look at the border on it. Look at the detail. You know, it's almost like you're in an old school role-playing game on a PC. You know, playing the graphic arts design was always just amazing on a lot of the older stuff. Miss the old days. Handax. Alright, so here is the sites. We'll do them one at a time. West Farthing. Etamors. Council Courtyard. You've seen a lot of these before. As you can see here. Let's see, where's it at? Yeah, there it is. 1. So that's actually from the Fellowship of the Ring set. A lot of this came from the base set from this block. Alright, side 8. Alright. There's our last site. Alright, so on for our rares. First rare, Uruk Captain. That's cool. I'm happy with that. I have a deck that I have built that I've been playing against a friend of mine, and he runs dwarves, and I run the Uruk Hai with Gondor, basically Boromir and Aragorn, plus a few hobbits, and then Frodo, of course. Next rare, Stricken Dumb. So that is the Ringwraith culture. Third rare, all right, the Red Book of Westmarch. Really cool. All right, pretty decent pulls. Nothing too crazy. We're going to open our second booster pack, and then we'll conclude the video there. So we'll see what we get in this. Maybe we'll get a foil. I hope so. I love the old foils. They really make the screen captures and the artwork pop on them. All right, so this is our first of the uncommons. Put this over here. The Eye of Sauron. Dwarven Bracers. So, pretty cool. It gives them +1 attack, and then if the bear is about to take a wound in combat, discard this possession to prevent that wound. So that's pretty solid. Alright, nice. We got the Balrog sword. I think I actually have 1 or 2 copies of this just from the past when I used to play a long time ago. Always a welcome sight to see things like this. Working on getting this first block into binders. I've got a lot more to open, so it's going to be a lot of fun to do this. Did we get a foil? No, that's not a foil. Nope, no foil today, but that's fine. So Town Center is our site. Hand axe. Old differences. There's Mary. Another common Frodo. Common Spearman. And that's it. Thanks for joining me, guys. As you can see, I've got a Two Towers anthology in the background that's sealed. I don't know that I'm going to open that one. I've only gotten one other one that I opened, but I've got a lot more that I can open and make some more videos for you guys. So thanks for joining me. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks.